Hello and welcome to the apocalypse again, where the urinals are just purely decoration.
Don't shit in the urinals.
I thought it was a water fountain.
Oh, and Mondi, that's how you did get dysentery.
I know what that is because I play 7 Days to Die.
Today's episode, moving on,
Just ignored it.
we are doing some rating of geniuses in media, nerdy media. It's not just anime.
Yeah, fair.
Mondi?
Actually, this is not a rating. This is a ranking show.
Ratings, rankings, Akuna Matata.
All the same.
Yes. But to start this off, I shall give you guys a fun fact that will make you guys' life more miserable.
Oh boy.
Bet.
Did you know the little loading gif of the circle where it loads is called a throbber?
I fucking hate that.
A throbber?
So now when you're sitting on a video game screen and it's loading, you can just imagine somewhere someone will call that a throbbing screen.
My brain is throbbing right now trying to comprehend this.
Well, with that little bit of information, I guess, shall we move on to our characters we picked? See who has the smartest team. Mage, you want to spin that wheel?
And here we go. Silver.
Okay. Smart people, smart people. Who shall I pick? The smartest one on my team is from an anime. He might be one of the smartest anime characters. Have you guys ever seen the show called Dr. Stone?
I fucking knew you were gonna pick him.
I seen bits and pieces of it.
My genius is going to be Senku Ishigami, aka Dr. Stone.
Well, I can go ahead and take him off my fucking list.
Was he on your list you chosen or
Yep.
just Dr. Stone is super smart. In his world, a mysterious petrification wave got sent out across the globe, turning everybody to stone for 3,700 years. We know it's 3,700 years is because Senku was able to keep his consciousness awake, and he counted every second for 3,700 years until eventually he got unpetrified by happenstance of landing inside of a cave. Then he was able to remanufacture the unpetrification potion that worked on him and was able to bring back other people, including his friends, world class builders, people that help rebuild the world. And he uses his knowledge of science to help bring the planet back from the Stone Age to a more technological advanced in a small area at the time. But he is pretty much a jack of all trades and knows a little bit about, well, knows a lot about everything besides maybe like art and music. Anything science and math related, he is super smart for making radio waves, making glass and test tubes.
What do the other people in his universe think of him?
They're pretty much like him. He ended up being the leader of his little group, and he was against the people. There's an opposition to him that was mainly all brawn, and he used science to do battle with them a little bit. But they were all scared of him, and they were all scared and respectful of him because of his smarts and able to create things like gunpowder and a tank, essentially.
Fair.
Just gonna make this Panzer.
Out of wood and steam engine. And then the show also, he does little science bits to help people learn science.
Oh, so you mean they finally created an anime that small children can learn science from?
Yeah. But that is Senku. He also kind of looks a little bit like Albert Einstein. He's got like white hair, if I remember right.
Yeah, but it's like
He looks
green
like
tipped.
yeah,
Oh, he has the Eagles MC square on his
shirt.
thing. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
His
he ended up
romper.
building a tree house and such like that, and making his own clothes. Not very good, but they're basic.
All right. Um, I can go first, I guess.
Yeah.
Because Monty didn't want to go first.
No.
Um, he seems very much like a genius, which is great. The reason I asked, so we'll start with intelligence. He seems to be one of the smartest people in his universe, if not the smartest. Is there anyone that seems to be smarter than him?
Not that is currently unpetrified, because
Okay.
everybody got turned to stone. So
Right. Okay.
it's pretty much people from back in the Stone Age era,
Hmm.
and a couple few people who he unpetrified or that got unpetrified. That was like a con man, a fighter, a shipbuilder.
Okay. So of course he's going to look smart next to them. His intelligence doesn't seem to be like hyper focused, right?
It's kind of just in science. Anything science and math related
This is forte.
is his forte.
Okay. So I'm going to say intelligence. I'm going to do an 8 because he seems very intelligent. But like you said, it's just those main areas, but he seems to be very intelligent in those main areas.
I just forgot. We never told our audience what our categories are.
So we're doing 3 different categories. We'll do them all 1 to 10. The first one we'll do is intelligence. How smart are they within their own universe? Would they be considered intelligent in other universes? Things along those lines to think about. Feats. What has the intelligence helped the character accomplish? Have they ever been outsmarted? What has their intelligence helped them overcome? So are there obstacles they've done that they've been able to overcome other people can't? And then cool factor. How cool are they? Are they respected for their intelligence in the universe? Are they ridiculed for it? So, as I said, intelligence, I'm going to do an 8. He seems to be very intelligent. I don't know how he would stack up in other universes, though. Thinking about like other individuals who have more well rounded genius or like hyper intelligence kind of thing, I think would be a little tough. Feats, I'm going to say a 9. The fact that he was the first person to just be able to to be able to figure out the petrification concept. He counted to the number. A lot of people can't even count to like a million. So counted to the number he needed to get to be able to keep track. That's a pretty, and then overcoming the Brawn universe is pretty impressive as well. So yeah, I'd say a 9 there. And then cool factor, I'm gonna say a 7 because he does have some opposition. It seems like in individuals, and we don't really know how intelligent I guess he is yet because obviously not everyone's been unstoned or unpetrified, and I feel like there's more room to explore there. It's a very early anime. What's there? I think 2 seasons, right?
I think so. I know it's still a very popular one.
Right. So I feel like that one could be going up later on as the season goes on. But yeah, so 8 for intelligence, 9 for feats, 7 for cool. I think that's 26.
Damn.
That's a pretty high score off the bat.
Hold on. 24. Sorry. I added up
Oh.
wrong.
I mean, we can bump that cool factor up to a 9.
Get out of here.
No.
Take your 24 and be happy.
That's probably going to be my highest scoring character.
That's a pretty good score. We flipped. Now I'm the too nice one.
There's a 10 billion% chance that I might come in a tie. That's his catchphrase. He always hits a high number. Okay, Mondi, what's my score from you?
So, intelligence wise, I mean, he outsmarted the petrification guy to the number because he was able to play through like so many different scenarios. It seemed like because I did see that episode.
Oh, you're talking about in season 2 where he found the guy that can actually re-petrify people.
Yeah,
Oh,
with the
wow.
little like Medusa looking thing.
Yeah,
And he
and
like
he
changed the coordinates or something on it to where it only affected like a smaller range.
yeah. Or
I have
he
a 12-hour car ride tomorrow. Maybe I'll finish this show.
And then, like Mage said, that not very many people can count to 1,000,000, let alone 37 kabillion with all the
whatever
years.
3,700 years equals in seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna actually give him a 10 on intelligence, and then feats. I mean, he did get petrified at some point, so that's technically he was outsmarted.
Well,
Mm.
everybody on Earth got petrified.
He is included in that though.
Yeah.
But his intelligence did help overcome because he somehow managed to unpetrify himself by falling into the water.
That seems a little bit like luck, though, right?
That's more luck because he just so happened to end up in a cave
Mhm.
where the mixture of the backguano and something else unpetrified him.
Huh. But he did invent a few things, so gotta
Yeah,
give him credit where credit's due.
he made like short form radio, cotton candy machine, test tubes,
Oh yeah, I did see he made that.
glasses,
He made
tank.
that radio when he was talking to somebody.
Yeah.
I'll give him an 8 for feats. And then cool factor, I mean, he kind of reminds me of a mad scientist. I'm not a big fan of the green tips.
It looks like a plant, right? It looks
Oh,
like a
yeah,
green onion.
he kind of reminds me of like a bakura that just dyed his hair.
Hey, photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. I'm gonna give him a 6 on cool factor. So that's a 24 from me as well.
See,
Anime hair.
you did so good. Good job, Silver.
Hey, and what I said there's a 10 billion% chance it'd tie.
Yeah,
Oh, you
fair.
did. I didn't even think of that.
All right. We'll spin the wheel to see who goes next to determine the rest of our order. Yes, I get to go last this time. Next is Mondi.
Bitch.
Bitch.
Okay. So I guess I'll start with one of my ones I talked to Silver about.
Dr. Robotnik?
That's actually a really good one.
Aw, I did not think of it. Mine is not from an anime. Mine is Jimmy Neutron.
You fuck. That's a really good one.
The original Boy Genius. Well, not the
Yeah.
original, but
But yeah, Jimmy Neutron, for those of our blind viewers,
which is everybody.
yeah, is a small town boy still in school, has a robot dog, a dad obsessed with ducks. He has his hair kind of reminds you of like a soft serve ice cream,
I was just about to say it's a soft serve ice cream cone.
and he's got like science, an atom like on his shirt, and he's
He's
like one of
got
the he's like
science on his shirt.
yeah, he's like the smartest kid in his town,
Mhm.
possibly the world, in his place. But yeah, he makes all this stuff, and when he goes to think, he goes think, 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 brain blast. And then he has like a magnificent idea that somehow saves the day that either him or his friends have caused to go horribly wrong. He hasn't like broken petrification rays, but he's saved parents and stuff from the alien attack when the aliens made them do the chicken dance.
How good was that movie?
That was pretty good.
I forgot about that. I saw that movie in theaters, I think.
He's also was the smartest one in the Fairly Odd Parents universe when he went over to that universe.
Yeah, but everyone in that universe was stupid.
But he was still smarter than everybody in it.
Fair. All right. Silver, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. So we're talking intelligence wise, which he does stupid stuff as well. He does not bring safety protocols into anything. It seems like all his inventions cause problems too.
And then he
80%.
uses his intelligence to solve them.
Yeah.
He's like Frost from Dragon Ball Super. He creates wars and then fights to clean them up.
Yep.
Yes, that's pretty smart.
It's pretty evil.
I'm going to have to give intelligence for Jimmy Neutron an 8 because he is super smart, smarter than his parents and most other. Is he 8 years old, 10 years old?
11, I think, 10 or 11.
Yeah, I thought he was 11 for some reason.
11.
Yeah, he's smarter than most 11-year-old kids. He doesn't think about safety precautions, though, on anything. So that's why it's going to be an 8. Feats, he's done stuff from going to the moon to making other people super smart.
He's also made people evil. I just thought about that one. That was a
Their
good episode.
intelligence has really only helped them overcome their own issues. They got stuck on the island one time and he couldn't really think of how to get off for a while. So if he doesn't have his lab, we'll go an 8 with that as well. And cool factor, how cool are they? They're not respected at all for their coolness. They
Yeah,
are,
he is teased relentlessly.
yes, between Sydney and heck, even
Livy.
Carl and Sheen
Mhm.
make fun of him sometimes. Timmy
He
Turner made
like
fun of him.
it's so
Yeah,
weird
but
because
that's Timmy Turner.
in that show he is a 4.0. He has never got anything. I think he got 1B one time or something like that. He gets straight A's and everyone's like, "Oh, you fucking dork. This is the smartest kid in the town."
His
But you
parents
got
still think he's cool. They've
Yeah,
said
you
it.
okay.
gotta you gotta remember it was the late 90s, early 2000s
That's
when
fair.
dorks were still being made fun of for
Yeah.
being nerdy, and it wasn't like the late 2018 20
Mhm.
teens. So it's gonna be a
This
2 for cool
this
factor.
is when bullying was acceptable, apparently.
It's when bullying was allowed on TV. So that's gonna be a total of 18.
18.
Dang, Silver
Yeah.
really gave you an 18 for him, huh?
It's the cool factor. You can't give Jimmy Neutron a cool factor when he's not
Yeah,
cool.
that's fair.
He's not portrayed cool,
Yeah, that's more accurate.
especially if you're less cool than Timmy Turner.
That's only in Sydney's book.
The whole premise of Fairly Odd Parents is that Timmy is not cool. So he has to get magical wish granting beings to make his life better.
And that is why Cosmo made my list of smart people.
Get the fuck out of here. What was your total, Silver? 18?
My total was 18.
I'm going to be a little nicer. Intelligence. He does do a lot of really cool shit. He built like 15 different rocket ships in the movie to go to the moon or this planet, this random fucking planet in the middle of nowhere. He built like I said, like 15 different rocket ships to propel like a ton of people to the moon, to this planet, which is wild. He's constantly doing very crazy things. He does fuck up a lot of the times, but he corrects it, which I think is important. He also, according to the wiki, has an IQ of 210, which is fucking off the charts. I think a genius level is like 160. So he's very, very intelligent. I would say intelligence for me is it's probably a 9. He's very intelligent. So I'm gonna say 9. Feats, like I said, go building that many rocket ships to go to another planet. He bring a mummy back to life at one point?
Yes. Because
Like,
the mummy then hung out with Livy, and Livy taught the mummy how to do dancing.
yeah.
Okay,
So I
what
feel like it's
was
very similar to Dr. Stone, or like anything that comes to like math, science that can be explained that way. Crazy smart. I know when he talked to Libby or talked to Cindy, he was an idiot. Yeah, he built candy and got people addicted to it. Basically, like it was a drug. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
he does dumb shit, but very intelligent still. So I'm gonna say Feats is like an 8. I'm actually gonna say cool factor is like I'm gonna say like a 5. He is like the dorky kid, but he's also 11. And like Silver said, he's a nerd, so because of that, people are automatically gonna make fun of him. But he does do the right thing. He is good to his friends. I think a 5 is a good middle of the road score for that. That's a 22.
Yeah.
what were those numbers again, real quick?
Oh, sorry.
985.
Yeah, 985.
90. Also, what was Jimmy Neutron's IQ?
It was 210. That's what it says in the wiki, at least.
Senku's is 220.
Okay, so right around the same.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's also older
it-
by a couple of years.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jimmy Neutron's is 210 at 11 years old, which is fucking crazy.
does
I think
anybody
Senku's
else
15.
does anybody else see the like facial resemblance between Dr. Stone and Jimmy Neutron?
It's the genius look that they used to draw characters like that with.
What if Jimmy Neutron's actually Dr. Stone?
Ooh, he just dyed his hair.
Yeah. He was going
He
through a
got
punk
dyed
rock
from the
phase.
rock.
That green's not dye, it's just bat guano that he never washed out.
I shall wear this
Never-
like a pride.
Okay, last but not least, we have Mage. who
Goddamn right,
is
not least.
you.
All right.
Who is your pick for this round?
This was a fun one, and this is I get to debate this a little bit.
Oh dear.
I feel like this is one that none of us really thought about, but it's very much right under our nose. I am picking
Bulma?
Bulma from Dragon Ball Z.
Bulma?
Bulma.
You'll have to sell this one.
I'm gonna fucking try. Bulma is an engineer in the Dragon Ball universe. She meets Goku when she is young. Did you know when she meets Goku at that time, she's a teenager? She already has a PhD. She has 2 PhDs in this universe. She
Just in
holds,
Dragon Ball?
well, no, obviously in Dragon Ball Z. She has 2 different PhDs. She's the daughter of the world's most leading scientist in the world, so she was able to study under him and learn. She is a biologist, is able to she's able to build capsule technology. She's able to recreate technology. So she recreates the Saiyan pods. When the Saiyans land on Earth, she's able to reverse engineer ships that resemble the Saiyan pods that allow them to travel to Namek. She also is able to create the Dragon Radar, which has saved the show single-handedly so many times, because otherwise they would just be left searching aimlessly around the world finding Dragon Balls. Don't you even say shit. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
Their episodes would rival One Piece with the filler episodes of finding the Dragon Balls without a radar.
Without
We could have
Bulma
had
and
more
her
deep.
intelligence to find the Dragon Balls.
We could have had more Dragon Ball Z if Bulma wouldn't have made the radar.
Mondi, how much do I like One Piece?
You haven't tasted it yet.
If my favorite show was as long as One Piece, I would never watch it. I would never watch it again. I would boycott it just on principle. Anyway, like I said, she is able to reverse engineer ships to take them to Namek, which is across the galaxy, which is a crazy feat in itself. She's able to create a remote detonator for the androids in the Android Saga. She is able to safely remove a nuke from Android 16's chest, so that way he isn't able to self-destruct. She creates, if we're going to GT as well, she's able to create a flux wave emitter, which is able to get Vegeta into Super Saiyan 4, which was thought to be impossible because he didn't have a tail anymore.
Looks like Bonnie wants to say something.
Go ahead, Monty.
She also created a time machine, and GT's not real.
GT may not be real. She created a fucking time machine. So I don't think I need to say anything else.
I forgot she did a lot of that stuff. I just kind of put it as they found the stuff.
That's what I'm saying. She's like she's the character that's like right under our nose that you're like, wow, she's actually really fucking intelligent.
They don't show her on screen as intelligence or doing anything really useful anymore. Like she was shown useful back in Dragon Ball a lot because she was with the main cast and not in God level. Besides feeding Beerus candy.
There's an episode in Dragon Ball Z Abridged that made me really think about this when she goes, as the daughter of the world's greatest engineer and having doctorates in both, I think it's engineering and robotics, are her like 2 PhDs. Crazy. Like those are 2 of the hardest things you can study, I would imagine.
Another thing that she did that we mentioned back in episode 1 is she was able to recreate and redesign the Saiyan armor.
Come on.
To make it stronger.
Not only that, she put it in capsules, so you could just take it with you in a little pill form.
The capsule was technically her father's technology.
But she also had to figure out how to do it because she put stuff in it.
But if somebody's there that actually created it can go, okay, this is what you do. It's not like the Dragon Radar where like she made it from scratch. Like, okay, how do you find the energy for these things?
So what you're telling me is, if a doctor came to you and said, "Hey, this is how you perform open heart surgery," you could do open heart surgery
with enough attempts.
It takes a lot of intelligence to still be able to do something like that, even if just being showed.
Trust me, I try to train people how to use a pressure washer at work, and it doesn't go well for them.
I tried to show this one lady how to use a hammer, and it failed.
Oh, also gravity manipulation.
Yeah.
Oh, the gravity
She
chamber.
creates not only that, up to 500 times Earth's gravity.
And it's still contained within the sphere. It doesn't affect the outside of the ship.
Can you imagine if they made that in real life? It'd be the size of a football stadium.
Yeah.
She made it like what? The size of a camper?
Yeah,
Pretty
compact.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we should get the rating. Mondi, you can go first.
Okay. Damn it. Intelligence has got to be a 10. Feats. Fuck.
Come on now.
He made such compelling arguments.
She's the best.
I'm going to have to get. Fuck. Feats is going to be a 9. The only reason it's not a 10 is because it was because of Bulma why the Black Star or the negative energy of the Dragon Balls started a whole nother thing.
That's fair. That's very fair. I'll give you that. She overused the Dragon Balls like an idiot.
She's also using the Dragon Balls for Botox, and that's kind of salty.
Yeah. I also feel like it's so shitty. You have unlimited money. You created world-changing technology. Go get fucking Botox. Like, come on.
Cool factor. It's Bulma. Yeah, she's not very smart in the common sense way of yelling at a god of destruction, but she's pretty respected by people, but yet she's not very respected by Chi-Chi. They like to fight.
Mhm.
I'll give Bulma a 7 on cool.
Okay. I'm good with that.
19.
26.
Fucking compelling argument bullshit.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Bulma.
I did too.
So, intelligence is going to be a 10. Super smart. Maybe not so much in the 100% common sense way, but
We're talking intelligence, not wisdom.
I know.
Book smarts, not street smarts.
Yes.
Feats is going to be a 10 as well. I don't mind that she created the Black Star Dragon Balls because that created more content. And
Fair. I think Silver and I are on the same page. I actually like GT.
Yeah.
Like, at least the
And-
main arcs, I actually really like them.
And it wasn't exactly her fault that some people got used to wish away bad stuff or wish bad stuff to happen.
And I think too, thinking of it like analytically, her thought is like, oh, this is how these are supposed to be used. Like, she's not abusing it because it's how they're supposed to. This is how it's supposed to be done.
And in theory, can't you just take one of the wishes eventually and just wish away, make the Dragon Ball
wish away all the
detoxified?
evil.
Yeah.
All this evil goes away.
You'd probably have to go to another dragon.
Cool factor. So it's going to be 10, 10, and then cool factor is going to be an 8 because she is respected by normal people and by Vegeta.
I don't
but
even
not
know if
much-
Vegeta really respects her. If we're being honest, Vegeta respects her as a woman. He doesn't respect her as like intelligent.
Let's be honest, she made Vegeta her bitch.
Yeah. Vegeta sees her as like a, hey, I need this, build it.
Possibly. He got mad when she got slapped by Beerus.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of cares.
Yeah.
That's my Bulma!
So that's going to be a 28 for me.
Damn. Almost a perfect score.
Is that
So
the highest
20
one we've had so far?
Possibly.
I think
probably
it's up
close.
No, there was
Mondi's yours was a...
there. Mondi's was 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
10, 9, 7.
I'll say there was last week's episode at 9, 10, 9.5.
So yeah, 28.5.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, thank y'all. And I believe that starts us back at silver for round 2.
Round 2. My second round pick is everybody's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hold on. Which one?
Peter Parker.
Which one?
The one that built Parker Industries and was able to outdo Tony Stark in technology.
Okay, so the one I have absolutely no idea about.
It's comic book version, not really
Yeah.
movie versions.
Yeah. As soon as you said like the one that built Parker Technology, I was like, oh, Monty's going to
Didn't even
have
know that.
no fucking idea about this.
Didn't even know he existed.
This is going to be kind of like a general intelligence comic book Spider-Man because they're Spider-Man timelines are hard to follow. It is a web and not a straight line.
And especially because, like, somewhere in this timeline, Doc Ock controls his body for like X amount of years.
Yeah, and he accidentally punches the Vulture's jaw off.
Yeah, it just becomes fucky.
It's Spider-Man. He was able to make his own web shooters. He could recreate the Goblin's glider, recreate Iron Man's armor, hack into Iron Man's armor. He had his Iron Spider suit that he modified. He had a bunch of nanomachines, I believe.
Yeah, it's very much like he gets Tony's technology and then just makes it 1,000 times better.
He's a scientist. I don't exactly remember which PhD he has,
I
but
don't know.
he can make jibs as he's fighting and still outthink his opponents most of the time.
Doctorate in biochemistry and biophysics.
So he's a physicist and a biochemist.
Mhm.
He was making his web fluid self-dissolving since he was in his teenage years.
What's it, like an hour? At least that's what they talk about in the movies.
Yeah,
Hey man, I got ice cream in here. This ain't gonna work. I feel like I can talk about him first. This is very much a pandering choice.
I like
and-
Spider-Man.
And you're a
I
dick
know he's
for
very
it.
smart.
He is very intelligent. I don't know how much of it you can attribute to. No, I guess the Spidey sense doesn't help with intelligence as much. It's reaction time. So I'm going to say intelligence. He's very smart within his own universe. However, so he would be considered intelligent in other universes to an extent. Obviously, having a doctorate and everything like that. I don't believe it's usually those couple areas, very similar to Dr. Stone's, like math and science. Outside of that, he stumbles a lot. I know, like in the show, like in the movies, they talk about in school, like he doesn't do well in English and all those other things. So it's like he's still a person. Like it's not like he's hyper intelligent everywhere. So intelligence, I'm going to say an 8 because I think same thing. He'd be considered in other universes very intelligent. Feats, it's really hard to argue that. The only argument I will have in Feats is he is outsmarted at times by other genius level individuals.
Yeah.
But again, they're genius level individuals as well.
One other thing is that he was able to make multiversal technology so he could travel the Spider-Verse.
Which is very impressive. So I put that as like that's something he's been able to overcome.
Mhm.
And usually it's very rare that he loses in fights. He'll lose and then typically figure out a solution and come back to it. So I'm gonna say Feats, I'll give him a 9. Cool factor, I'm gonna say is actually a 7. I like the character very personally, which is why it's so high. In the universe, like if you watch the movies or the show and everything, Peter Parker himself gets the shit kicked out of him in school because people just think he's a dork. He lives in a 1-bedroom apartment. He's constantly getting bullied by people. It's like that piece of it. Like he's not well respected in his universe.
Yeah.
He's very intelligent, but so yeah, I'm gonna say 7 for that. So 7, what's that? 7, 8, 9. We figure that was 24.
Yeah.
Not me giving Silver 24s only today.
There's at one time where he didn't live in a 1-bedroom apartment. He lived with Iceman and Firestar, I believe.
Oh yeah, in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I watched the one show I watched on YouTube was talking about that show. And the one guy was making fun of it. He goes, I always laughed. It was like how they would transform. Iceman would like make himself a block of ice and bust out of it, and he was Iceman. And then Firestorm would like burn her clothes off, and she was Firestorm. And Spider-Man would like be in a closet, like, "Hey, hold on."
I gotta put my suit on. Not as fast as Superman. Different universe.
Different universe. All right, Mondi.
Well, it's Spider-Man.
Great observation for our blind listeners.
Yeah, for our blind listeners, Spider-Man wears a red suit. It's got webs all over it, and he swings from buildings. I ain't got nothing on this comic book Spider-Man, so I'm going to go off my best knowledge of what you guys just said.
It's very similar.
Yeah, think of Spider-Man in the Spider-Man games because that's a little closer than the Spider-Man in the TV shows.
Yes.
Okay.
And I know you've beaten up tons of thugs as Spider-Man in the games.
So Spider-Man is pretty smart. He only falls into like a handful of traps in the games. But this Spider-Man has his own business. So we're going to bump his intelligence up from like video game, I'd say is a 6. This Spider-Man, we'll give him an 8. Feats, I mean, it's Spider-Man. That's all he does is feats. So
One other thing is he has to be able to calculate his trajectory when swinging from web to web as on the fly.
we'll give him a 10 for feats.
That's what I was thinking of. That is the Spidey sense coming in, right? Doesn't eventually that become an unconscious thing?
Eventually, it's like swinging from ropes. You
Yeah.
eventually learn where you gotta put it.
Mhm.
That's just reflexes,
Yeah.
which is spider sense.
Then cool factor. I mean, I'm not totally a big fan of Spider-Man in general, but in the world, like, he is pretty respected until some people find out he's Spider-Man and then they think he murdered people. Spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen a Spider-Man movie. We'll give him a 7 on cool. 25.
Dang, look at you.
I was like a 50-50 if he was going to give me a 6 or a 7 on that last one and it would make it even again.
Even 24s again. I feel like he did that just on purpose.
All right, I can live with a 49 total between the two, which is actually higher than Senku.
Yeah, and he said that one was going to be his highest one.
Oh, you just wait till you see round 3's pick.
I feel like he has just a crazy one for round 3.
Continuing on with round 2, though, Mondi.
I too have selected another non-anime character. It's a blast from our past.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you two remember Dexter's Laboratory?
Dang.
Okay, so from Nickelodeon to Cartoon Network.
I feel like this is where Mondi actually does really well because he isn't limited to just anime.
Everything's been 20 years or older, so our younger listeners, go check out the YouTubes.
No, listen, I refuse. If you haven't watched this show, pause the episode right now and go fucking watch it. Because it is so good.
Omelette du fromage.
Omelette du fromage.
I'm Mandark.
It's been a hot minute, but I'm going to do my best to remember. So Dexter has created robots. He has his own jet plane. He somehow compacted a massive ass laboratory inside his parents' house behind a bookcase. He's learned French and got popular off 4 words.
Get popular. Okay.
Look, he was on a magazine for just saying omelette du fromage.
Our French listeners, please, we're not trying to cuss or nothing. We're not exactly sure what it is, but it was on a children's TV show.
I think it has something to do with cheese.
Yeah, also please forgive our horrible pronunciation of that.
I will admit, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. He was outsmarted by a monkey because he gave a monkey superpowers, but then the monkey is just normal monkey, but is also its own spinoff of Super Monkey.
Dial M for monkey.
Dexter has accomplished a lot, and he has a lot of feats, but he also has an annoying sister that gets into his room. His parents don't know how to get into the lab, but his sister does. Oh, we could have used Dexter for the mech battle. Damn it.
Oh, we could have. Yeah.
He has a mech.
His mech is dope, too.
I'm so mad I forgot about the Dexter mech.
Okay. I guess Dexter's Lab.
Yeah, you gotta add laboratory, otherwise it comes up this other show named Dexter, I guess.
Yeah, with the serial killer.
Who is also technically a genius a little bit, I think, isn't he?
Yeah.
In his own different way.
In a different way. He's more a sociopath. Who's just intelligent.
Intelligence in their universe. Dexter is super smart in his universe, but there is also other kids who are the exact same smartness. So he's not I wouldn't say he's the smartest because he's in a constant competition with Mandark. Mandrake? Mandark.
Mandark.
I'm Mandark.
Oh, Dee Dee.
Oh, Dee Dee, my love.
I don't think Dexter is as smart as Jimmy Neutron per se. They're probably pretty close for, kids.
To be fair, Dexter's IQ is never explained, but he is like 9 and 10 years old, depending on what season you watch. So
Yeah.
he's still younger than Jimmy Neutron, and he's got all this stuff.
But he's definitely not as smart as Bulma or Senku, I would say, because he still fails to do safety precautions where his stuff can fall into the hands of other people.
But he does have safety things, but Dee Dee breaks them.
Yeah. He did get defeated by Monkey. He actually made Monkey, and Monkey defeated him. You said.
Yeah, he gets outsmarted by Monkey because Monkey just acts like normal Monkey until like he telepathically receives a message from his agent.
Ah, okay, yeah. So he's not observant.
Yeah, I guess that would fall into street smarts instead of like book smarts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some people still say intelligence is going to be a 9. And I'm going to give Feats a 7. And coolness, it doesn't really show his class very often.
No.
Or anybody within his own peers. It's usually just Didi, Mandar, random NPCs,
And his parents.
and his parents. I'm just going to go with a 5 for cool. Because he's definitely not as made fun of as Jimmy Neutron.
I'll accept that.
And the robot just bumps it up just a hair bit. The power suit.
The mechs are cool. This is going to be one of those episodes where I like every one of these. Cat's out the bag.
Total of 21.
Okay, because I'm sitting here adding and my fingers almost ran out.
Close.
Which is why we did not pick Mondi for this list.
Fair.
What? My IQ is like 7. That's it.
For my rating, intelligence, I'm going to say an 8. Again, intelligent in his universe, building giant mechs, doesn't take precautions, is outsmarted multiple times by the monkey and by Dee because he doesn't understand like how to think like a person. It's just like, oh, I'm intelligent, so you would do it this way. But he doesn't understand like, oh, if you're dumb, this is how you do it.
Is Dexter autistic?
I think so. I think, well, I'm sure they don't explain it that way, but that would make sense.
Most of the geniuses are usually a little bit coded.
There's something.
On the spectrum.
They're on the spectrum
somewhere.
Yeah. So I would say like an 8 for that. He would be intelligent in other universes. I think it's very similar. I don't know how much. He doesn't have anything that would really make him like stand out per se. So 8 for intelligence. Feats. He does a lot of cool shit. Builds giant mechs. His lab is self-sustaining. Fun fact. He created his own self-sustaining power source, which is cool. I'm going to say 8 for Feats as well. Cool factor, 6.
I was going to say, I don't pick very cool characters.
No. So he isn't as dorky as like some of the other characters in the other shows. I almost feel like, it sounds really terrible. I almost feel like everyone thinks he's autistic, so they don't treat him badly. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, you can't pick on the disabled kid.
Oof.
Yeah. So I don't know, but he seems to get along with other people well. So yeah, I'm gonna say 6 for that. So 22.
Yeah.
Who the fuck am I gonna pick?
Just close your eyes and drop your pen.
Yeah, basically.
I thought you said you had 2 good characters.
I do, but I actually have 3 good characters, but I don't want to. The one I know I'm gonna have to argue for. I want to pick fun characters.
Mine have been fun, even if they haven't scored me very high.
It's Dr. Robotnik, Dr. Egghead.
All right.
Anybody with the word doctor in front of the name?
Yeah.
Dr. Eggman.
Well then, I'm gonna pick a fun one. I'm gonna pick Koro Sensei from Assassination Classroom.
Okay. Not a doctor, but a teacher.
Not a doctor, but a professor.
Which you still need a doctorate for usually. Or it's helpful. Some requirements.
All right. So Koro Sensei is an an outer entity being who comes to the planet. The show is Assassination Classroom. Who comes to the planet. He destroys half of the moon. Well, it's over half actually. He makes the moon into a crescent size by destroying a majority of the moon. Sorry. He then takes over as a teacher at a school and tells the students they have 1 year to kill him. He will teach them normal skills as well as skills in combat in an attempt for them to kill him. And if they don't kill him, he's going to blow up the world. So where his intelligence comes into play, he appears to be, at least for a majority of the show, almost all-knowing. Like there's no question they can ask him that can stump him. He teaches them the entirety of their lesson plan for their regular like schooling without having to prep lesson plans, without having to do anything, because he is just hyper intelligent. On top of that, they aren't able to harm him for the first.
There's a special type of material that can harm him. It's like a special plastic or rubber.
Yeah, it's a special rubber.
Because they make bullets out of it, right? And they have
Yeah.
knives made out of that rubber.
Yep. And if he touches it, it just hurts him.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's very intelligent. Trying to find that part here. He was an assassin before, and he used his intelligence to outsmart individuals to be able to gain their trust and prey on them, and was able to assassinate them that way. He was known as the Reaper, and racked up over 1,000 confirmed kills. Claim he killed with his intellect. Let's see if there's anything I'm forgetting in here. He looks really dope. He's a jellyfish man.
Thought he was an octopus.
Yeah, well,
Too many limbs. He's just a tentacle monster.
he's just a tentacle monster.
As shown in the one gym scene when that one teacher went into the shed.
Maybe I'll rewatch this tomorrow while I'm in the car.
It's either this or Dr. Stone.
Yeah, one of the two.
You're not going to rewatch all your long lost childhood shows?
This was a childhood show. I was just when I was like, I think like 12.
That was 2015 it aired.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Yep, you were totally like 12 in 2015.
Dang. Wow, I thought I was younger than that. I remember it being on Toonami.
No.
No,
What the
it never made.
fuck?
What show are
Unless
you
you're
thinking of?
Bobobo.
I don't know.
Bobobo is also yellow.
It might have been that.
I mean, they had some fucked up stuff.
That show was fucking weird.
Nose hairs, tentacles.
All right. It's all the same.
Am I first on Mage or are you first on Mage, Mondi?
I think I'm first.
Okay.
Okay, so Koro Sensei, intelligence. He damn smart. He is considering he's a teacher and he's supposed to be teaching kids. So for intelligence, yeah, I'd say he's the smartest in the universe, or in his universe. Don't know about any others. We'll give him a 9 for intelligence because he's wanting to be stabbed, and I don't feel like that's too much. He's wanting to die, so I'm gonna dock a point off for just wanting to die.
Just wanting to die.
Yeah. Feats, like you said, he was an assassin. I mean, he disassembled rockets as he flew around to get food because he was I remember him apologizing to his class to be like, "Sorry, I'm late. I found these along the way," and he just shows nuclear warheads or rockets that they launched at him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the hell?
He flies at the speed of a jet.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Feats, I'll give it also a 9. And then coolness, man, I'm not a total fan of his character like design, but he's pretty well respected in the school once the students realize that yes.
Respect or feared?
Yeah.
Those are synonyms.
Good point. Good point. Now, at first he's feared, but it seems like the kids really start to like him when they take their little exam thing.
I feel like it's almost like when you fall in love with your captor. I forget what that's called, but
Stockholm syndrome.
yeah, they just are like, oh well, he's gonna kill us, but like it's fine.
You just get used to the weirdness over time, and it's just like, okay.
Oh, this is Koro Sensei.
We're just gonna give it a 7. Now that thinking of that.
So 25.
Oh goody! Round 3's here.
Oh, I still gotta do it.
Oh, yep.
Rating of Koro Sensei. Intelligence, a 9, because he could be doing a lot more with it than trying to get killed by training assassins. Feats, but he is super smart, so that definitely helps with the knowledge to teach kids and actually teaching kids their actual subjects.
Mm-hmm.
Feats is going to be a 6 because he's done less feats of intelligence than many people on the list we've done already.
That's fair.
Like, he hasn't invented anything besides killing techniques. Everything's got to do with death or killing usually, besides his normal arithmetics and schooling. Then cool factor, it's also going to be a 7 for pretty much the same reason, as he's both respected and feared. Feared by the media, respected by the students.
I respect you for saying that. So 22.
Yes, 22. Now, on to round 3. the wild card round. You know how I was mentioning people that start with the name Doctor in front of it, right?
Of course, you are picking a doctor.
I am picking a doctor. It is neither anime or comic books. We're
Oh,
going back to cartoons. Yes.
is this Doctor Who?
No, it is not.
Oh,
That would have been a good one.
that was a good guess.
The
No.
Doctor Strange.
That also would be a good one.
Oh,
He has his own jingle.
Dr. Pepper.
I don't know if Dr. Pepper is an actual doctor. Let me
All
give
right, we're gonna call this episode early.
what
This dude said
he is.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. This character.
Give us the universe. Give us the universe first.
It'll give it away instantly. But he is voiced by Dan Povenmire.
Is it Doctor? Is it Doctor Freeze?
He ends all his inventions with Enator.
You big doofenshmirtz.
Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
My third pick is the Dr. Doofenshmirtz
What a wild card.
from Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
I have no idea how to spell this name.
Starts with a D.
And Dr. Doofenshmirtz is from Phineas and Ferb, a Disney Channel show. One reason I'm picking Dr. Doofenshmirtz is because they're going to continue Phineas and Ferb this year.
Are they really?
Yeah,
What?
I heard Dan Povenmire confirmed it, who is
Very
the
cool.
creator of the show.
Yeah. It was a good show.
I've met their voice actors.
Tell us about some of the feats.
Well, Dr. Doofenshmirtz Dr. Doofenshmirtz is a doctor, and he runs a business called Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated, which he founded after his bratwurst street cart failed due to being outsold by hot dog vendors who had shinier, more chrome carts.
This dude out here giving us the entire backstory.
Yes, he's not very cool, as his own parents never showed up to his birth. Neither his mom nor his dad showed up to his birth. He was made to be the family lawn gnome for a while, even after his dad got rich.
Watching Monty's brain spark at neither parent showed up to his birth. I can see the smoke coming out of your hair.
What the hell?
It's also a feat to his mind that he could remember his own birth and his parents not being there.
Mm-hmm.
He did get married once with kids. He has a daughter. He's known for making evil inventions, and his goal is to take over the tri-state area because when he was dating Phineas's mom at the time, she wanted to be a rock pop star.
Mm-hmm.
And she told him, if you can't take over the world, start by taking over something small like the tri-state area. So now that's why he's trying to take over the tri-state area.
Mm-hmm.
And being 90% defeated by a platypus in a secret agent hat, Agent P.
Perry the platypus.
Some of his inventions or feats that I would like to note is he made an age accelerator inator. It's built for aging cheeses, but it does work on humans. He's got a copy and paste inator, which is a cloning machine. He made it so he can have his clones stand in line for him. A Gluminator 3000, which was supposed to make bad weather, but all it did is make EF5 tornadoes. He's got several different mind control devices, ones that work on termites, and he's got one that works on people, but it's the mind control device on people only works for simple birthday related commands like clap, party, clean up. But he's got business coat, and he may or may not have just bought his doctorate off an online course.
So I start this one, right? You picked a very fun character. I really like this. He is very intelligent. We're very fortunate that he decides not to use his intelligence for other means. I think he would be... See, I think that's the problem, though, is I don't know if he'd be considered smart in other universes. I don't know if anyone else would consider him intelligent because he's so bumbling.
I'd consider his inventions on par, though, with, like, Dexter.
That's fair. So I'll say an 8 for intelligence. I think that's what I rated Dexter. Feats, he's forded every time. I don't think there's a singular time where he succeeds.
He did accidentally switch plans with Phineas and Ferb when they made a death ray without the ray part, and he made their super giant ice cream maker.
So I think that's the other thing that takes us away from me a little bit. There are two 11-year-olds in your Tri-County area that are smarter than you.
Tri-state.
Tri-state, sorry. Feats, I'll say a 7. He does a lot of really cool things, but again, because he's so bumbling, he fucks it up. Cool factor, you're getting a 2. He's your typical dorky doctor scientist. Everyone in the universe thinks he's a dork. He's constantly being put down by his daughter, by everyone around him. Agent P knows he's a joke as well. Everyone kind of knows. So I'm gonna say, yeah, cool factor. We'll do a 3. I think a 3 is good for cool factor. I think that's an 18.
I tried. I threw out. I can't fight the cool factor since
That's fine. I don't think we've had very high cool factor ratings.
No, and the lowest has been a 2, so nobody has been a 1 in cool factor.
They're not mean. We haven't chosen any mean smart people either.
Yeah, fair. Oh, I'm about to.
Oh, you gonna pick Magneto? All right. It's Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz.
Not related to the ketchup.
Intelligence, definitely smart, but he's stupid smart. He successfully builds his devices, but yet always thwarted by a platypus, which argumentably the platypus could be either the most stealthiest or the smartest in Phineas and Ferb, because even Phineas and Ferb don't know that Perry is a spy.
Yeah.
And they're smart. So, that being said, it takes pretty good intelligence or good blueprint reading to build some of those things. So, I'm willing to give Doofenshmirtz an 8 for intelligence. Feats, he has accomplished quite a bit, failed at quite a bit more. We're going to go with 6 for Feats. And then coolness, I mean, he still tries. We'll go with 5. 5 for coolness. So 19.
You were actually the mean one in that one.
Dang.
I said I was going to have to start cracking down. All the other arguments were just way too convincing. Like you said. That's okay. My next character is it's kind of like I'm going to have to fight for him, but I really want to use him.
You're in luck, because it is your turn.
Game on.
Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, so he's not a doctor, but he's very wise because everybody comes to him.
Master Roshi?
No, another grumpy old man. Mage, you look like you got an idea.
I don't know if this is right. Is it going to be like Guru from Dragon Ball Z?
Mr. Popo?
No, it's not an anime.
Grumpy old man.
We all love his favorite, his catchphrase he uses. Magic must defeat magic.
Uncle.
Oh man.
It is Uncle from Jackie Chan Adventures.
This is gonna be tough.
Sticking with the Disney Channel theme.
No, that was Cartoon Network.
That's Kids?
4 Kids.
Yeah, it was also on Disney, wasn't it?
I thought it was Cartoon Network.
No, it was Channel 8.
Yeah, so 4 Kids would be Channel 8's.
Did Disney play it at some point? Did Disney buy Jackie Chan Adventures?
I don't know, but I need to rewatch this show. I forgot about this show.
Sony Pictures. So yeah, doesn't Disney own Sony?
Kids WB.
Oh, there was 5 seasons of it. But yeah, so intelligence. Without Uncle's knowledge, there would be a lot of very bad shit roaming around, and nobody would know what's going on. And for some reason, he had a book for everything. Like, all he did was run an antique shop, and this motherfucker is just like, oh, dark magic? Let me just look in this book.
I hate that I'm about to give you points. He also, anything that was brought into the shop too, he knew what it was. Like, he had an idea of like, oh, it's this, or like it's from this era. He was able to like date things and know of antiques very well.
And his feats, numerous feats. Talisman collecting, Shadowcon, the evil masks. He made a fucking potion that allowed you to stick your hands inside a dragon's ass to get a talisman out. I don't know if they ever touched his butt, but I know they went right into his chest to get the talismans. Yeah, it's Uncle.
Never question Uncle.
Right. Jackie! Ow! This man was so respected that Toru, the giant sumo wrestler, feared him.
No one ever called. He doesn't have a name in the show. It's just Uncle.
Yep.
Voiced by Sab Shimono.
Don't know who that is.
Magic must defeat magic. Men the rocket launchers. No! Yeah, he even took out an agent, the leader of Section 13, by just a little neck pinch. Because he wouldn't listen to Uncle, so Uncle took him out. That's another good feat.
Silver, you can start on this one. I think you go first on Mondi.
It makes me mad that I can't remember a lot of things, but when it comes to TV shows, they just play back through my head, and I'm like, good times.
Sorry, I'm back paying attention. I got lost on a rabbit hole of Uncle's voice actor playing things in TV shows.
I'm literally on his wiki right now. Doing the same thing. Joe, he was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
He's in Legends of Tomorrow.
What?
He's in 3 Ninjas. Remember that?
Oh. Anyways, I guess we'll go back to the rating.
No.
Yeah, thanks. Do you know he's in Ben 10?
I'm not surprised. He's in Scooby-Doo and the Samurai Sword. Did you know he was in MASH?
I just saw it.
I can't wait to cut all that out later. Go ahead, Silver.
For intelligence of Uncle, he also got himself into trouble a little bit sometimes. Jackie and him would have to help out. I don't remember 100% everything about Jackie Chan Adventures, as is another show from the early 2000s, 20 years ago. But I'm going to have to give Uncle's intelligence he's not as high as Jimmy Neutron or Dexter. He's more wisdom based, as he still has to look everything up. He doesn't like encyclopedically know it. So I'm going to give Uncle a 6 in intelligence.
This is going to be Mondi's probably lowest one.
Feats is all magic based, and the magic actually works most of the time, especially when it comes to talismans and knowing things about those. So it's going to be about 8.
He do be knowing every rule about the talismans.
Yeah,
like, that's the one thing, like through the show, he knew to a T exactly what every one of them did.
Except for the tiger, if I remember right. He had a hard time when they just suddenly split personalities.
Yeah. But I think that was because that was like a lost one or something. There was some reason for that.
He found it in a book eventually, I think.
But he did figure out how to fort the vampire for the one that was stealing the chi.
To be honest, vampire knowledge is pretty common, from a person who does monster research. And most vampires steal chi. It was probably a Jiangxi being Chinese based.
I believe it was.
Which, it's a pretty common knowledge of how to stop those guys. Talisman to the forehead. Cool factor. I'm just going to have to go with 6 as well, because he's cooler than everybody else. But I think Jackie and Toru and stuff were a little cooler than him, because he yelled a lot. And he's usually,
That was him talking.
I like Uncle.
It's like that one loud friend.
Or our sister Ruby.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so it's going to be a total of 20.
That is not my lowest scored character. He scored me lower on Jimmy Neutron.
I really like Uncle. This is going to be really tough. Intelligence, I'm going to say a 7, because he does know a lot. And I think part of intelligence too is knowing, like, okay, I got to look this up, and like where you can look it up, gathering that knowledge, things along those lines. So I'm going to say probably a 7 for intelligence. I think in other universes, unless it's about dark magic, he wouldn't be like hyper intelligent. You waving the white flag, Silver? Feats, he doesn't have a ton. He has some, but doesn't have a lot of them. It's not very often he's outsmarted when it comes to things, and his intelligence helps Jackie a lot, especially when it comes to the talismans. So I'm going to say probably an 8 for Feats. And cool factor, he's my favorite character in the show. He's dope. And he's pretty well respected. I'm going to say probably an 8 for that as well. So 23, I think.
That is my highest scored character now. That just tells me I lost this game.
Well, what was the scores for real quick?
Oh, sorry. 878.
Okay, I'm just adding it to our table.
All right. So since y'all picked characters from cartoons, not anime, you made my decision much easier. I'm also going to pick a character from a cartoon, not an anime. I am picking, I don't technically know if he's a doctor, so I'm not going to call him a doctor. Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty.
Oh, okay. Pickle Rick.
I'm actually not a huge fan of the latest seasons of the show, but the first couple seasons I was a fan of it. Rick he's an Earthling. He is considered a genius in the show. He's the Rick Prime in the show. He is of genius level intelligence. The thing he is holding is actually a portal gun. He's able to open portals to places by thinking of them. Not only that, it can travel across the galaxy to different places in the galaxy. It's an he develops an interdimensional version later, so you can travel to parallel universes with it. He is dubbed the smartest man in the universe, and the only person that is able to outsmart him is himself. And because of that, there is the Citadel of Ricks, which is a bunch of Ricks that come together to make sure none of the other Ricks become too powerful and try to like destroy the universe or anything like that. He is an alcoholic. He is very hubris. He's kind of an arrogant asshole at times. He transfers his consciousness into a pickle at one point, strictly because he wanted to try, just because he wanted to try. So he does it, and then he's able to create armor for himself and makes legs for himself and everything. It's a really cool episode. It's very gross, but it's very cool. Yeah, he creates a time machine. He creates a self-sustaining universe inside of a battery, which generates electricity to power his car, which is a spaceship. I feel like I put him in the same vein as like Batman, where if you give him enough prep time and if he like wants to do something, he has the intelligence to do it. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. He'll do it. I think that's about it.
What are some of his inventions besides portal gun?
Well, the portal gun. He actually creates a cloning device and is able to grow clones of himself. He creates a lot of. He can create weapons as well. He creates matter distortion weapons. He built his own spaceship, which, like I said, is it's made out of his car. He created that self-sustaining universe, which is it's an entire universe
Yeah.
into a small space. Sorry, I'm looking through the wiki to remind myself. He creates his own element. He discovers an element and dubs it himself, which is Sanchezium. Again, he's an asshole.
Mr. Mishi's.
Yeah, he did create Mr. Michi's. He's able to amplify your dreams. He's able to go inside of your dreams. And then the various like shrink ray, dark matter ray, freeze ray, things like that. Oh, he creates a love potion, which makes people fall in love with you.
Does he actually use any of these to help people that he doesn't cause issues for?
See, that's a great question. No.
Because I have not watched
Fuck no,
it.
he doesn't. If it does not benefit him personally or save Morty, then he does not give a fuck.
Okay.
Even then, typically, he sometimes won't even help Morty. Oh, the battery is a microverse battery. Sorry.
Ah.
Power suits. He creates multiple power suits, bunch of futuristic guns.
Monday.
I'm not the biggest fan of Rick and Morty, so I mean Rick is intelligent, I'll give you that. But he's like dumb intelligent. Like he doesn't do good things with his intelligence.
He's very self-centered with his intelligence.
So I'm gonna have to give him an 8 on intelligence. Feats, he has made a lot and he's accomplished a lot, but he's also created the problem. He's like the Jimmy Neutron. He started it. That's why he has to clean it up. So we'll give him a 7 on feats. And coolness, I mean, he's not very well respected even amongst his family. Like Morty, I feel like just kind of sticks with him for pity.
I don't think he's respected amongst other Ricks.
He's feared.
No, a lot of Ricks want him dead. No, this just might be petty.
That's fair.
I just don't like Rick. I'm going to give him a 2 for coolness.
I think that's a 17 if I add it up right. 872.
Yeah.
Tough but fair. And Silver?
Silver's like, I'm still calculating my hate mail.
So there's no denying that Rick is not intelligent. So it's going to be a 10 for intelligence because he can create all this stuff. Feats, I'm going to have to go with a 6 because he does make a lot of feats, but doesn't actually. Are they actually feats if they don't accomplish anything progressive?
Right. If they don't help people or anything like that.
I mean, they're good at causing problems on a small or universal scale, and he has to clean them up. So that kind of cancels each other out, I think. And cool factor, I mean, he's a drooling alcoholic that does a bunch of killing, and even his own family doesn't really respect him all that much. So I'm also going to have to go with a 2.
Dang, y'all are brutal. I think that's an 18.
It is an 18.
Y'all really don't like Rick. Tough but fair.
And Monty's was a 17.
Yes. I feel like we each had like 2 really good ones, and then the last one was like, let's try this.
I just want to point out I was the only one in this whole session that didn't score a single 10.
Damn.
You
I hope you win.
get close.
I had a couple 10s.
Okay, with that, round 3 is complete. I actually have the scores tallied up now.
Oh shit. I definitely gotta add it.
So, Monty, since you're asking first,
Oh, I did?
you're asking first, so your score is 126 total.
Woo, 126, that's me.
Mage, your team, 136.
I added up.
My score, 134.
Let's go.
You won by 2 points.
I knew
It
it.
was a lot closer since you chose Rick.
Yeah, I'll read through my honorable mentions. I had a lot that I could have went with that I think it would have been a little further, a little bigger of a gap.
Yeah. Bulma's what got you the main win on this one.
Thank God. Yeah, Bulma combined to get me, 54?
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Okay, now on with honorable mentions. Mage, you said you had some?
I have a couple, yeah. I had Minato Namikaze from Naruto, Victor Leaked from Fire Force. He's like the engineer of the group. He's very intelligent. Yayorozu from My Hero Academia. This was a fun one. Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. Batman, and then Lex Luthor, The Flash, and Beast from X-Men. And those were mine.
Okay. My honorable mentions are Doctor Doom, Shikamaru Nara, Light Yagami, Sherlock Holmes.
That's a really good one, actually. I started only anime, and I should have tried to find more in other media.
Well, you know what? Sherlock Holmes is in a lot of anime.
That's true.
And my last one, I believe her name is pronounced Aya Rendo from Undead Murder Farce, which Sherlock Holmes is also in
Of course, yes.
because it's a historical drama.
I had a few.
Monty, you had a few?
Yeah, I had a few. I don't know if they were more. I was leaning towards the smart or the nostalgic smart because it was Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls, Dr. Egghead from Sonic, Dr. Egghead from One Piece, and
And with that,
I have the wheel ready to go.
Monty has to make the rules for the next one.
Do you want me to spin the wheel?
Yes, Mage. Go ahead, spin that wheel.
And next week, we will be. Our list is up to 44 entries at this point. Each week, we take one away and add 2 more. So we are going to be doing. Creatures that shouldn't be eaten.
Are we doing creatures that shouldn't be eaten or creatures that are eaten but shouldn't be?
How do you want to do it?
I like creatures that shouldn't be eaten.
And are these within the anime realm, or are these just in the world?
I like when we do it that way, so it's not just limited to this one universe. It brings up more funny options.
On the back end of things, our podcast isn't labeled as anime podcast. It's a pop culture podcast with a preference towards the nerdy.
I like that. Yeah, so anything.
Few episodes in, and we finally start branching out away from the anime only, and we start getting into the other areas.
Anime is just what we know best.
Yeah, that and cartoons.
Okay.
Things that shouldn't be eaten.
So it says specifically creatures that shouldn't be eaten. Do we want to say things that shouldn't be eaten?
I think things involves items.
Yeah, I just thought of that too. You shouldn't eat a battery. That's an item.
You shouldn't swallow keys to your handcuffs, but people do it all the time.
Yeah. So we're doing items as well, or just creatures?
Just creatures, I think.
Just creatures. Okay.
Are we doing creatures that people have tried to consume, or just creatures in general? For example, Goku tasted Frieza when he bit his tail.
I'm gonna say creatures maybe not that haven't been eaten, that shouldn't be eaten. So if you look at it, you would go, people shouldn't eat that. Does that make sense?
How would we do? People shouldn't eat that, but the people in Dungeon Meshi would.
Okay, that's not fair. They'll eat rocks.
They peel the little scallops out of them first.
My thought is like, if you look at like a Gyarados, you would think like you shouldn't eat that, but people probably do.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And we can tweak it as the week goes on.
We got a week to figure it out.
Bye bye, everybody.
What was our outro?
And here's Chaotic with the outro.
Yeah.
Chaotic, we need the outro. Get over here. Quick, we need some filler content.
Side note filler content. If you have ideas that you think would be cool for us, please send them to us or comment on the video, whichever you prefer. Send us ideas.
Spotify does allow comments.
We will add them to the wheel. Make our wheel reach 100 things so it spins really long. We would appreciate it if nobody did any rated X discussions.
We're not doing anime characters you want to fuck.
That might be in for an After Dark episode.
Hello, Chaotic here. Thank you for listening to Archetype Apocalypse. Mage, Monde and Silver will be back to debate soon, but if you just can't wait to get your hands on more, check out the other projects within Mythic Gates on Discord or at monstersmyhe.wixsite.com. A quick tip since Silver can't hear me either. If you sub to Patreon, you get episodes a week early. Don't tell them I told you. See you next time, AA Fiends.